This list may contain some spoilers. The cartoons being spoiled are in the description. Enjoy! Hello everybody, this is Kirby over yonder, and while some people don't like it when cartoon episodes end on a cliffhanger, I personally think it's really cool when an episode ends on a cliffhanger, because it gets me very excited to see how it gets resolved in the next episode, and when done right, it can be one of the most dramatic moments in the entire series. When a cartoon episode can leave me on the edge of my seat, I honestly think that's an amazing thing. With all that said, let's get on with the list. Here we go. Number 5. Star leaving Earth. From Star vs. the Forces of Evil. When Star's mom tells Star that Toffee's returned, Star has to quickly tell Marco that she has to leave and reveal to him that she has a crush on him. Knowing that Toffee's returning is really cool, considering that besides Star herself, he's my favorite character in the entire show. It was also pretty cool hearing Star finally confess that she has a crush on Marco, especially after it was hinted at the end of Sleepover. I also like how Star tells Marco she has a crush on him, and then runs out before Marco can even process that sentence. I think the most shocking part about this cliffhanger was the credit scene. Instead of playing the normal credits like every other episode, instead it just shows the outside of Marco's house with no music and very little sound effects. I was tempted to go with the ending to Bon Bon the Birthday Clown for this entry, but the ending to Star Crust just had a little bit more of an impact on me. Number 4. The Finn's dad reveal from Adventure Time. There really is something to be said about keeping things simple but also effective at the same time. I mean, if you really think about it, all that actually happens is Finn completes the last thing on Billy's bucket list, then Billy kind of forms in the sky by a bunch of stars, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong. And then Billy tells Finn that his dad is in the Citadel, and then the camera zooms out on Finn. Again, there's not really much to it, but it manages to be effective in a weird, simple way. Hearing about Finn's dad was pretty interesting, considering the fact that we've never seen him before season 6. Seeing Billy again was pretty cool, and I really like that shot of the camera panning out on Finn. It really shows how important this scene actually is. Number 3. The clones freezing from Clone High. There's multiple things that make this ending so dramatic. First is that Abe finally realized that he has a crush on Joan, but then walking in on her having sex with JFK. Seriously, that look on Abe's face after he saw that is heartbreaking. The second thing that makes this scene dramatic is the music. I don't know what it is, but something about the music in this scene just makes it so much more dramatic. But I think the most dramatic thing about this ending was the fact that, unlike the rest of the cliffhangers on this list, it was never followed up on. This is due to the fact that Clone High was cancelled after its first season. On the one hand, this does suck because the story was never finished, but it also means that we can pretty much make up our own ending. In terms of what I think happened, personally, I think Timmy Turner from the Fairly Odd Parents randomly walked into the meat cellar for no reason, and then wished that all the clones were free. Then we'd get that Clone High Fairly Odd Parents crossover that we've all always wanted. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Number 2. The Stanford reveal from Gravity Falls. I've already talked about this episode in my top 15 Gravity Falls episodes, but to put it briefly, this scene is amazing. The characters are completely in character, the voice acting is great, the animation is beautiful, the entire scene is really fast-paced and intense, and the reveal at the end was mind-blowing. This reveal had every Gravity Falls fan at the edge of their seats, wondering what would happen next. This scene was shocking for all of the best reasons. Number 1. Rick's Sacrifice from Rick and Morty. Where do I even begin? Let's start with how much the scene says about Rick's character. How even though he's a cynical jerk, he's still able to sacrifice his freedom for the sake of his family. The music in the scene is incredibly somber, but it helps set the tone for what's happening. And the ending raises so many questions, like how will Rick break out of jail? What will his family do about him? And where will the series go from here? This episode is still my absolute favorite Rick and Morty episode, although based on how good Season 3 is so far, it could be topped. Well, those were the best cartoon cliffhangers. Normally this is where I'd say that if there were any choices that you think I left off, then to tell me in the comments. But considering the subject we're talking about, that probably isn't the best idea. Still though, if you agreed or disagreed with any of my choices, please tell me in the comments. And with that, Kirby out.